Peace and blessings, YouTube world, Facebook Live, Periscope, and everybody else that is watching. I am your girl, Cleo Cartel For the Culture, and we are excited about this show tonight. I hope my girl will be able to log in. We're supposed to be live with Audrey Holmes of Worldwide Imports. If she doesn't log in and has technical difficulties, we're just going to keep on rolling on. Tonight's topic is going to be about Black women in hair care or the hair business and how we are faring in this COVID world and how our businesses are doing. If you don't know a little bit about me, I've been in the hair industry as a licensed cosmetologist for the last 25 something years. I don't want to date myself, but it's been a minute. So I have been a licensed cosmetologist and salon owner for several years. And we have an interesting position as Black women in hair care. We have been kind of like the cornerstone in our neighborhoods, in our communities. You know, you grew up in the hair salon getting your hair pressed or whatever. You know, we've had interesting things as far as like the barbershops, brothers and sisters owning barbershops in the neighborhood. We've always been like the go-to to find out everything happening in the community. And it's interesting that our primary place for the news, or what we would call getting the news or getting what's going on in the streets, is kind of like dying out. Like, you know, how do we figure out, or how do we fare through this epidemic and still be prosperous, still have good business, not lose our clients, make the money that we need to keep our storefronts? Or is that something like a thing in the past? So interesting enough, I hope Audrey can join us. I hope she can turn on her camera. If she can't, we'll just keep it moving. So like I said, I've been a licensed cosmetologist for about a little bit more than 25 years. I got my license early in high school. We did like an ROP program, or where you go and you get the education and you go after school, you take a few classes, I think your last 2 or 3 periods of school, and then you go to school, you get your license, and voila, you know, we all became licensed cosmetologists. It was me, my cousin, Larice Mosley, and Kima Allen. We all became licensed stylists then that way. And we early on opened up hair salons, you know, I mean, at a really young age. I think my cousin Larice was the first to open up a salon. It was called Naps and Tangles. It was on Florin Road. And I want to say we were about 20 years old when we opened up the first salon. I believe so. It had about 12 techs. We had about 4 barbers, and let's see, did we have 4 or 5 barbers? Yeah, I think we had about something like that. Seven stylists, couple of barbers. We even had a nail tech at one time, a Black nail tech. You know, we were doing some dynamic things in the community. You know, we would have food drives. You know, we would feed the, do all kind of nice things, you know, for the community. But we were really, really young. But we got that from coming from Oakland. You know, there were always a lot of hair salons, you know, and we frequent quite a bit of them. One of them was, oh man, I can't remember Brownie's, what Brownie's salon is. It's failing me. But one of my mentors is Brownie Sims, and we used to go get our hair done, me and Larice, at Brownie's salon, and it was a dynamic space. I mean, she employed Black people, you know, taught them the hair craft and the hair business, taught them how to be in business, you know, all kind of beautiful things to help them establish to get established as business people in the community. So that was a wonderful thing. And I think that is what launched us into wanting to do hair, So we ended up moving up to Sacramento, and we started just doing hair, like out of high school, doing people's hair. And it created a need for us to get licensed. And we started opening up businesses. I think my first salon was Cleo Cartel Inc. I want to say that's where Tavia Jenkins has started. She has started in my salon. Well, actually, she didn't start in my salon. She started at Margot's, I want to believe, on Florence Road. But she finished up and got licensed and everything at Cleo Cartel, and that was like the launching of like a really, really great career. She's an awesome, amazing stylist. And then let me see who else was working at the salon at the time. And I want to say that was about 1997 that I launched my first salon, Cleo Cartel Inc. Yeah, it's about 97. And we did some amazing things. I was next to a brother, a barber shop, and this brother was from Oakland too. And we collectively got together and gave a barbecue called It's Hot as Hell. And funny enough, that barbecue brung out, we did that the first opening of Jacinto Park. I think it's called Jacinto Park. We gave that barbecue at Jacinto Park. It was called Hot as Hell. That's where I met Kyrie Malik. He was he was taking photos. He was the cameraman taking photos, and he was charging people, but he had never cleared anything with me. And funny little story, little sidebar. And so I walked up to him and I said, "Hey, who are you? What are you doing?" He was like, "Yeah, I talked to Cleo. I'm taking pictures, this and that. And, I got Cleo." I said, "Oh, so you talked to Cleo, huh?" I said, "Okay, well, so what did Cleo say? Oh, she cleared it, for me to take photos and, whoop, 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 whoop." I was like, "Well, I'm Cleo and I never talked to you." And we just fell out laughing. I said, "It's cool, brother." And so we began a really, really strong relationship, brother and sister. Since then, we've come to create a bunch of businesses. But the one thing that I loved about owning a hair salon was that it was a place where people could meet up and talk and laugh, and you could get the news, or it was a place where youth would be encouraged. I would have kids come and sweep, kids take out my garbage, fold my towels. I would employ youth. That was a place where kids can see people that look like them in the community actually having a business, and that would encourage them. Because now I know kids. I was like, I had a kid come up to me, no lie, y'all. And it just tripped me out. I just couldn't believe it. And I didn't remember him. He's like, "You changed my life." And I said, "Oh, what? I changed your life?" He was like, "You made me get my first bank account." He's like, "I used to sweep your salon next to 7-Eleven in South Sacramento. And my grandmother, you told my grandmother to make me get a bank account. I got a bank account." He said, "Miss Cleo, I've been looking for you for so long." And he hugged me so tight. And tears just flooded. And I was like, "Wow, what an impact. I had no idea." He was like, "You changed my life." He's like, "My dad wasn't really present." He's like, "So I live with my grandmother, and my grandmother got her hair done by one of your stylists. And I came in with my grandmother one day and you asked me, you want a little job, come sweeping?" And he agreed, and and I just said, "Wow, what are you doing?" Young man owns businesses. And it was a profound effect on me. It just, made me realize that everything that we're doing as Black women and Black men in business, even though sometimes it's a struggle, it's not in vain. We are blessing people in the community, so that was a great thing. But now let's talk about today. Today is interesting because we're seeing so many businesses struggle, and I'm hoping through this pandemic that that it's not just now like a thing in the past where, you know, salons, black owned salons and barbershops will not become a thing of the past, you know, because supporting a brick and mortar when they're asking you to take one person an hour, it just isn't feasible. It just, you know, you can't, there's no way that people can really afford that. And then they're offering and giving these loans. And I'm like, how are these people supposed to pay these loans back? You know, when will that happen? So I'm asking the people out there. That's why Audrey was supposed to join me tonight. I was going to, you know, go back and forth with her as a business owner. You know, what are the trials and tribulations of still trying to stay open today? You know, I know that I have moved on to other things. I moved on to clothing design. I moved on to directing videos and, of course, performing, singing, and doing things that I love. But a lot of other people have not had the option to do that because that is their primary thing, you know, doing hair or owning a hair salon, you know. And then what does that feel like when you have 8 other artist or text in your space that you have to worry about the doors being open? You know, when they're telling you that you can only do one person, and then you have the malls open, you have the casinos open, you know, and then I hear a lot of stylists saying that it's a that they're doing it on purpose, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, what would be the reason for that? Would it be the reason because you're self-employed and, you know, it's a cash in hand business? You know, do they want to get more control as far as making a lot of these stylist employees? I know they tried that. I don't know how successful that was. And I'm just concerned that something that has funded, because let's be clear, I have a lot of stylists in my family, and it has funded college educations. It has bought a lot of homes and cars. It has paid for a lot of other businesses to get started. You know, it has been a way for churches to be funded. You know, I know a lot of my family that are in the hair business, especially down south and even here, you know, they contribute heavily to their churches, you know, and funding and tithes and offerings or whatever, you know, to make sure that the churches keep going. So it's interesting to know, you know, what is the energy behind shutting the salons down for so long, and still keeping other entities open, you know, like what was the energy behind that? I know that they had said that one of the first cases of COVID in California was from a nail salon, which is interesting. I believe they have been traveling to China and they infected somebody. But I mean, looking at it now, you can get COVID anywhere. You know, you could be in this you could be in the supermarket. Hey, you finally joined. Huh? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good, good. I'm glad you joined. You know, you could get COVID anywhere. So it's like, you know, why blame the hair salons for being one of the primary reasons and closing us down for so long? You know, how were people supposed to really survive in this type of environment? You know, I don't think they really thought about that. Or I don't even think that they care. What do you think about that, Audrey?
Um, I don't think that they care, but I do understand the concern
Yeah,
when because we are so personal, close contact with our clients.
yeah,
I do understand that. Um, but then again, we still have to make a living. And I think that when it comes to hairstylists and barbers and manicures, there's some things that we have to do differently, you
right.
know, to make
I
sure that we
agree.
protect ourselves and our clients.
Hmm.
And wearing masks. I mean, when my clients come in, I'm double mask and a shield.
Hmm.
And when I do their hair, you cannot take off your mask. Period.
Right.
Okay. Can't. You can't. And then I'm sanitizing behind them, the chairs and everything like that.
Right.
And then not okay, so I can't like, as stylists, it's like we can get them in when we can. I make sure I space them 3 hours apart from each other
Right.
so that they're not piling up against each other, which means that I had to extend my hours. I'm having to come in days where I may
Wow.
only have two clients to make sure I protect all my clients, you
And
know.
how is that feasible as far as making because you're a salon owner, so you have a
Mhm,
different type of money that you have to make to keep the doors open. Let's just be
mhm,
real. You know,
right.
how has that been for you financially?
Um, Now I just moved to a bigger salon.
Uh-huh.
The first time around in the smaller salon, I've always believed in making sure I got in a salon where I can handle it myself.
Right.
So
It
the
puts you on the shelf.
yeah, the
Yeah.
owners were cool with it. They worked with it,
Mhm.
worked with me, and that PPP really did help.
Right.
Now moving into the second salon, I do have two manicures, and I did discuss in the very beginning that come high hell water, you still gonna pay me rent. And
Right.
they agreed to that, but I kept it reasonable,
Right.
where they can pay it.
Right.
And what's so amazing about it is I lost a lot of clients and it's almost like I gained a whole new clientele,
Wow.
you know.
Right. We talked about that. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, a
Yeah.
whole new clientele. But securing with my clients that I will not overbook. I won't have you in there like I do. Like Fridays is my busiest day. I book on Fridays. Normally I book 4:35, 5:36, 6:30. In between 4 and 6:30, that's 6 people in there. Now it's
Yeah.
only three,
Wow.
which means I have to come in other days,
Mhm.
which is psychological for a hairstyle. Like I ain't coming in for one
One
client,
person.
but
Right.
but
Right.
but now you have to.
Yeah.
You still want to make your money. You still want to satisfy that client. So you have to come in for
Mhm.
that one client. Yeah,
Let me ask you a question. Did you have to raise your prices on your services?
I didn't.
Okay.
Um, I
Okay.
haven't raised my prices in some years.
Okay.
I've been known, people say, your prices are high already. I don't think they are. I think they're fair for my experience and being compatible with other styles have been in Israel as long as I have been. I'm
Yes.
secure in my
Right.
work and I know what I do. It's just not
Right.
about flat iron. You get healthy hair.
Right.
So no, I didn't have to raise up my prices. I stand by my
Okay.
prices with the
Right.
same work that I do. Yeah. I
Right.
haven't raised my prices in probably 4 years.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it might be a time to raise them. I mean, seeing that you could only do so many people, I mean, because it's hard. It's
Right.
it's hard to it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to make the rent. I'm seeing so many people that are closing. You know, and I'm
Right.
telling you because
I've seen it too.
some of these rents for these brick and mortars, they are expensive, and some of these landlords, they are
Right.
not bending. They want their money.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Mhm.
I think I've been really blessed. The first
Yeah.
shop that I was in before I moved, I mean, who moved into a bigger salon during the pandemic?
Right.
I had a smaller salon. I was comfortable with that. The
Mhm.
issue that I had was where she was micromanaging me and having to move into a bigger salon. I have two manicures, but they have part full-time jobs. So this is their
Yeah.
part-time job. So they can pay the
Right.
rent whether they have
Right.
a client or not.
Or not. Hmm.
You know, right. And hair is not my full-time job. It's actually
Right.
my part-time job also. So I
Right.
have a full-time job.
Right. Right.
The
We talked about
smartest thing that I could have did for myself is I don't know if anybody remembers Rudolph from Dudley's.
Yep. Rudolph Byers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He preached to us until he
Yes, he
can preach
did.
no more. He said, "Make sure your income comes from multiple streams of
Of
income."
income. That's
That
right.
was the smartest advice he could have gave me
Yep.
because uh, my income is not hair alone.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right.
I have
Yeah.
other things that I have a stream of income from. And if I could pat my back on that, I'm glad I heard that. And I'm glad that hair is not my whole source of income, especially
Right.
being a single woman, you know?
Mhm. How is your energy? How do you feel? Do you feel good about business right now? Or what is your regimen? What do you do to motivate yourself to keep going in such a time like right now, as far as like in hair? What do you do? What's your
Um,
daily thing that you keep yourself motivated?
Always my number one thing is doing a good job,
Yeah.
making sure I do a good job on my clients. Their hair is
Um,
healthy, it looks good.
mhm.
When they go out in spite of a pandemic, people are like, boy, your hair looks good, your hair is healthy. That is
Right.
always my number one focus.
Okay.
Um, Number two is, making sure that they return and they come back.
Right.
Even though we're in a pandemic, they're coming back. Um, I offer a monthly plan that's very
Okay.
attractive to a lot of clients.
It
And that
does.
includes, and I always have, and that always includes the color, the relaxer, the cut, the
Mhm.
conditioner. It's just a flat rate.
Right.
And clients like that monthly plan. I have like 6 people on the monthly plan,
Right. They do. They love
you
it.
know.
Yeah.
You have to
I,
make something
I think
attractive
I
to
have.
them. Like, hey, you're getting a better,
I have
right,
3 people on the monthly plan too. Yeah, and and
right,
sometimes
you know.
monthly plan it makes up a bill or two. You know.
Oh, girl, that's my mortgage. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
All
saying?
right.
So what do you think the future of hair for black stylists? What does that look like for us?
um, I would say continue. What it looks like
You know what?
is
Wait, Audrey. Don't
broad.
answer that. Don't answer that yet.
Mhm, mhm.
Answer this question. What do you think we need to
Okay.
change as black stylists to be better? What do we need to change?
What do we need to change?
Hmm.
I would say first, make sure your salon is one that is professional atmosphere.
Yes.
Period. You know,
Yes.
um, make sure it's
Uh-huh.
clean. The music
Yep.
is. Make sure it's relaxing. Make sure the music ain't rap music. Um, Make sure that you don't overbook,
Yes.
and make sure that you're able to give your clients an atmosphere when they come to your salon. And I swear by
Relax.
this, I want to make
Yeah.
them feel relaxed. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
definitely,
Uh-huh. Why do you think a
definitely.
lot of us don't
And then
go ahead? Go
go
ahead.
ahead. What you say? A lot
Why
of
do
us
you
don't
think
what?
a lot of us don't retail?
Uneducated,
Yep.
not knowing that. Okay, understand the concept is back to what Rudolph told us.
Hmm.
Within your business, creating a multiple stream of incomes within your own business.
Right on.
There was a time where I don't know if you remember this, when the state was doing this was a few years ago, because I was hit by
Okay.
this, because all of my a majority of my clients have always been state workers. And you remember
Okay.
when they did
I
that
do.
furlough thing?
I
I was hit
think that was
hard.
the time that I moved to Berkeley, if you remember when that happened.
Right. Hmm.
Yes, I do.
and
Okay.
and I was hit hard because my
Me
clients were
too.
like,
That's why
girl,
I
I can't
left.
come that often. I lost a lot of clients and I was hit
Right.
hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I
Mhm.
started selling hair. I
Yeah.
I I I found a manufacturer out of China that started I designed my own hair, and the hair was a bomb too, by the way. And God, I could never
Yeah.
find a manufacturer again. It was thick,
Right.
coarse, yucky hair that had a lot of body and it lasts. And I was selling hair, and I had designed my own wigs. So I
Yeah.
was selling hair and wigs and products and still making money, even though my clientele doing hair had suffered.
Yeah.
But it's like the retail side had rose up.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Hmm.
as I'm listening to this, I know that there has to be an area where consulting needs to be in place for younger stylists coming up, because I'm seeing some weird stuff in the industry. I'm seeing stuff like, are you doing that? You know, are you charging $90 for a full head weave? You know, are you doing, I mean, you know, stuff that you just don't do, that's not classy, that's not in the line of the tradition of the great hairstylists and mentors that we were taught. You know what I'm
So
saying?
what you're basically what you're saying is they don't know their self-worth in
No,
this industry.
they don't know their self-worth. That's one thing, but they also don't have a point of reference, you know, on how
Right.
to do things correctly. They don't have a
Okay.
point of reference to that. They just
Right.
coming in, seeing YouTube and, you know, thinking, you know, oh, I can do all these things and all that. But the majority, and let's be clear, the majority of the things that you're seeing on YouTube, I want to say 85% of it is not healthy to the hair. That's why you have so much. Come on. It's not
Of
good.
course.
It is not good. So, but that's their reference point. Most of the young people that are coming up, that are starting businesses, that are in hair, their reference point is YouTube. Our reference point are moguls like Dudley, Luster Silk,
Right. Hair shows.
Right.
Classes.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
We have real thorough professionals that we looked at and we said, I want to model myself after them. You know, now you have people.
You know, like back in the day, it was the mother of hair was Detroit.
Come on.
You went to Detroit. They were the motor city of hair. Right.
Come on.
Now it's like the motor city of hair is like you. Right.
I don't.
Right.
I'm saying stuff. Right. That is going to cause immediate baldness. You're doing that. That is going to cause traction alopecia.
Right.
And I mean, I'm seeing Audrey. I'm seeing women at 30, 28, 27 that are completely bald. All this is bald.
Oh,
bald.
Wow.
And I'm like, what have you been doing? You know, I just noticed that my extensions were too tight. I'm like, that's traction alopecia. That means that whoever's been doing your hair, they don't know tension skills.
Right.
They don't know that the hair can only take so much tension. You know.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so education, you know, professionalism. You're saying professionalism, learning how to bring other streams of income into your salon. Because we just shouldn't be just doing hair. We should be doing waxing. We should be doing lashes. We should be doing massages. We should be doing, but we don't. You know, those are things. We should be doing teeth whitening. You know, I'm looking at some of the white salons, and I don't want to pattern myself after them, but they have some amazing, awesome stuff that they're doing as far as retailing. You know, I look at their retail sales, you know, because we look at the salon book or the salon monthly that comes out, and sometimes remember how you used to have how much people were making in the back. You remember that? And I was like, there's never any black salons in here.
Right.
We're never getting the $1 million mark.
Right. Or if we do, we working like a dog for it.
Like a slave.
Yeah.
I remember the days, Audrey, and I look back and I was like, oh my goodness. Do you remember getting off at 2 a.m?
I never worked that late, but 10, 11. Yeah. There was a couple times I did 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And then I remember my white counterparts that I went to beauty school with. It was like, what? It's like I'm done by 6. I was like, huh?
They were making more. $3,000. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. They retail and their prices were more.
Right. So with that saying, do you think having bad business practices means that we have trained the clients wrong.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Of course. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Of course. Mm-hmm. Some
Yeah.
of our
Because
stylists
they're
here in
coming in with
Sacramento,
the idea.
right? Some of the
Yeah.
stylists, and you know, both of us know some of the baddest hairstylists that are still doing hair in the industry today charge a whole lot
Today.
more.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And they may not have the biggest clientele,
Right.
but they stand by their prices. And then
Right.
you have some that have been in the industry as much you and I have, and they don't charge them. They still have a big clientele, but they still working, you know,
Off.
from 8 to yeah. And so I'm 55, and
Right.
I can't do what I used to do at 26. I
That's
work
right.
6 days a week from 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. I my body won't even allow me to do that anymore at 55.
Wow. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't do it.
Yeah. And that's from working so hard, Audrey.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking to a girlfriend this morning. She says, as Black women, what we have done so far to this
Mm-hmm.
age has to mean something.
Right.
It has to have some type of worth.
Right.
So if I could offer any kind, I'm talking about any kind of advice to like people out there that are starting a hair business or a salon or a barbershop, be consistent. That's another thing.
Be
There's a
consistent, be professional.
come on.
Be consistent, be professional. Always look for different streams of income within that business, within your business.
Right.
You know, whether it's if I don't care even if I was renting a booth, I would do hair. I'd be selling some jewelry, some clothes,
That's
some
right.
hair, some earrings. Right.
All the
I
time.
probably I probably would additionally go back to school again, get my license in real estate or
Uh-huh.
taxes, because those people are in your salon. You'd be like, look, I can do your taxes.
Right. I can sell you
I
a
can
house.
sell your house.
Come on.
Yeah,
That's right. You
right.
know,
I would.
right. Another thing that I want to talk about too is like health. You know, it's important if you're not feeling good, take the time off.
Hmm.
Take the time. If your
Um,
back hurts, go ahead.
right. Right. I'm gonna tell you something. Maybe I got this from my mom, hard work, whatever. I have worked through. I remember one time my
Girl.
arm was so sore, it was stuck. And
Ah,
I was doing a weave, and I had to down some Motrin, and I still did
I
that weave.
agree.
I didn't work through. Look, I didn't work through toothaches, sore arm, back hurting, leg then swole
I
up.
agree. When I tell you, I don't think no one knows pain like we do. I have
Right.
worked through. I have worked through a broken foot. I
Right.
have worked, Audrey. I have worked through a pain, something that I can't even describe to you. Okay, I have worked through. I mean, and I'm like, have I been too hard on myself,
Right. I didn't work through funerals, you name it.
Audrey? I mean, because the bills had to be paid.
Right.
Right,
Hmm.
right.
That's
That's
why I'm so understanding now at 55 is that a multiple stream of income.
is
Because at
important.
the end of the day, what I've learned that there are some clients that care about you, but
Yes,
some of them you ain't nothing but a stylist.
yeah, and they'll never check on you. They'll never come see you.
The moment you can't make the appointment, they'll be in somebody else's
They'll
chair.
be in somebody else's chair.
Right.
They will.
I had to learn that.
Yeah, yeah. So with that being said too, so health is very important. My Kima's mama used to always say, the famous Beverly Johnson, honey, rest in peace. She used to always say, you when that back go out, she says, please, you'll know who your real clients are. Or when something goes out, you'll know
Right.
who really loves you. So be
Right.
careful
That's it.
and treat
Right.
those that are really good to you. Treat them
Right.
well. You
Right.
know.
I lost clients in so many different periods of my life. My mother came to live with me, and I had to switch my hours to take care of her. I lost clients,
Yeah.
and that was very hurting
Yeah. They didn't
because
understand.
it was
No.
about their hair. I'm
Yeah.
like, it hurt that I lost them,
Yeah.
but quite a few clients. One time I got stuck in Atlanta, I lost some clients.
Yeah.
Now I've been doing their hair for years, ain't never been late, always there. And that one time I was there to miss their appointment, girl, they left me.
Gone. Yeah. I've
Gone.
had that. Yeah. Yeah. I've had the
You
same
know.
thing happen to me. I remember, and seeing, I wonder too, like as a people, we should change our energy in regards to that because people have problems.
Right,
There are things that arrive and there's nothing you can do about it. Maybe we need
right.
a little bit more understanding, a
I
little bit more compassion.
That goes back to what I said,
Hmm.
having a multiple stream of income.
Yeah.
If you just all in the hair and you ain't got no multiple stream of income, even within that
Woo!
industry or outside, my heart goes out to you.
Mine too. Because it's going to be rough. It is going to be rough. Rough
Hmm.
for you. Okay,
Right.
so what are you thinking about the new laws in place as far as state board in regards to? I think they're great and everything. Um, because I am not working full time in a salon. How has that been for you guys who are in a salon full time? As far as like, because I remember at one time they didn't want you in the salon.
Hmm.
You couldn't even be in the salon during the
Pandemic.
pandemic. Yeah,
Hmm.
I know some girlfriends
So
were like, we would close our blinds, Cleo, and lock the door and give our clients a text code to come in. I
right.
mean, it got that serious, Audrey.
Yeah,
You know?
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah,
I lost because I am a part-time hairstylist. I'm semi-retired. So I
right.
work 2 days a week. Fridays is my full day. And 75% of my client when the pandemic, I left. That they left. There were
Yeah,
my few that were like, I'm coming in anyway. And of
right.
course, you gotta do the blinds, can't come in and do them,
Yeah,
those who had always been with me stuck with me.
so
Um, like I said, seeing new clients is mind blowing in the midst of a pandemic. I lost a great slew of clients, but then I gained some new ones.
how did you get the new clients?
Just word of mouth and just I guess oh because their stylist wasn't doing hair, they came to me.
Okay, okay, there we go.
Right,
Okay, okay.
right.
Okay, so
Hmm.
so how are you liking your new space now?
I absolutely love it. Not being
Oh,
micromanaged
it's a
anymore.
beautiful space too.
Thank you. And it's
Yeah.
large and I've always created an atmosphere of relaxation. That's my thing.
Yes.
My two manicures, they're younger and they were like, "Oh, she don't play rap music." No, I don't.
Uh-huh.
I want everybody to feel comfortable. You
Right.
know, I don't have a
Right.
problem with rap music, but I want you to be able to come into the salon and feel totally relaxed, no matter what age you are, or
Right.
whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's my thing. Atmosphere is important. I learned that early on. Is creating an atmosphere that's
That's class.
relaxing. Hmm.
Are you looking for stylists?
I am. I'm looking
Okay.
for one more stylist. I have room for one more stylist and probably one more manicurist with
Okay.
their own clientele.
Okay. You want them to have their own
Yeah,
clientele.
yeah.
What,
Booth rent is 350. I kept it reasonable.
right.
Which I don't know
You
where
can't
you're gonna
beat
find that
that
in Sacramento.
ever. You're not gonna find that. No.
Mm-mm,
No.
no,
You
I ain't
still
trying
have
to
your,
get.
do you
I
still
ain't
sell
trying to
hair?
get. I don't, but there's some things upcoming that
Okay.
I'm going to tap back into just to kind of tell you about um a residual income. I One of the things I didn't do, and I would suggest this to anybody that's doing here, make sure you get a financial advisor and you secure your retirement. And that's something again that we don't
Ooh,
talk
ooh, you better come on, say that again.
about. Because a lot of stylists, and I see it on my page, stylists, it's about the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, all the designer stuff. Well, you and I have had some long conversations about this. I've been there and I've done that. I'm 55. I didn't have the luxury cars. I didn't have the designer bags and all that. But at the end of the day, that don't mean stuff nothing if you ain't got no retirement.
Yeah.
Unless you didn't bought some stock in the Gucci and Louis Vuitton. Okay.
Right.
So
Come on and
I
tell
have
them.
had to create an income that can secure my retirement.
Yes.
So as of January 1st, I will be open one. I want my goals to have four. My first room and board facility for seniors.
Right. 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 I mean, that is a great accomplishment. And it's funny because I think all of the things you being in business has being a stylist and being a salon owner has prepared you for that.
Of course.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
And you know what? Me and Rolanda, we were talking earlier before we had logged on about you can purchase all those things like me and you were saying, all those Gucci's but baby, I just had a bout where I had to take care of my mom. And luckily in finances, she has her stuff in play to where if I
Mhm.
needed to spend $300 on extra diapers for her or whatever, I could. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at a
Hmm.
point, she couldn't wipe her ass, because
Right.
they had drained her of so much fluid, she just didn't have it in her. We had to rehabilitate her back into that. But I thought to myself, do you know how many people don't have access to $300?
Right. Extra a month. Hmm.
Extra a
Hmm.
month. Do you
Hmm.
know if push come to shove, if you needed a nurse I mean, things can strike you. My father had a stroke at 53. Who'd have thought?
That's done. Wow.
I'm, I'm 6 years from 50. You know,
Right.
who'd have thought?
Right. Hmm.
That's young. That is
Yeah.
young.
And we don't think about that. And again, I hear Rudolph's voice. He was like, why y'all acquiring all these materialistic things, a name brand or whatever, but you ain't secured your retirement. To, like he said, to me, that's in vain.
It is. And people,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you though, Audrey, people think that their kids are gonna take care of them. That's a lie. You
Well,
have
you
3 or 4
hope.
kids, it's probably one of them that's gonna take care of you and that
Right.
don't really want to,
Right.
but it's gonna come through. And the other three, they're
Right.
gonna
Right.
disappear.
Well, okay. So you hope that they can, you hope that they're stable
I
enough
know.
to take care of you. Okay.
Come on. Come on.
Because you got 50, 40 years old who still aren't stable,
No.
you know,
No man.
stable.
No
Right.
man. Yeah,
So
and
we don't,
yeah.
in this industry, it's fast money,
Yeah.
it's good money,
Yeah.
and you buy stuff and things, and you don't think about retirement. And I,
Yeah.
and I, I tell any stylist this is that,
Mhm.
get with a financial advisor,
Right.
get your priorities straight, and it's okay to have some material things, but don't live at your means, live below your means. I learned that.
So let me
Uh,
ask you this: since you have a financial advisor, what do you look for in a financial advisor?
someone that can teach me and that manages my money as far as knowledgeable about what's going on in the world today when it comes to stocks and bonds,
Okay.
where to put my money in and all those things.
Okay.
One of the things that I had to learn, there's an old saying that it's better that you learn now than never, is I
Okay.
had to learn how to live below my means instead of living at my means.
Right.
And what I mean by that is making
Simple.
sure that
Simple.
you are bringing more money in and less money out.
Yep. I'm a firm believer of that, Audrey. Yes, ma'am. Simple.
Right.
Very simple. Simple. There's nothing wrong with living simple. If some of us will learn that. A lot of
Right.
I look around sometimes in my house. I was like, this shit gotta go. This is unnecessary. This is unnecessary
Right.
junk stuff.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Now, do you mind sharing who your advisor is?
Yes. I met this guy out of the Bay Area.
Okay.
And I have a guy here too
Okay.
and I can give you his information. One of the things that the advisor I have here has told me, he said, I will not invest any more money until this election is over.
Okay.
He
That's
said,
good.
I'm not going to do that because things are going to change. We know that.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to have you invest anything. But then there's some little investments that I do on myself. I have Robinhood. I have
Okay.
Acorn.
Right.
I do a few little investments myself.
Right. Me too. Right. 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 I do it a lot. I do most of my investing myself on Cash App. Right. Mm-hmm. I do all, it,
Uh-huh.
go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cash App
Yeah,
is
I do too.
phenomenal.
I play around with those.
Yeah. It's
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal. And you know what too? I like that, if you're not versed in if you're not well versed in stocks, Cash App has a great little video that they show you on how to start. You can
Mm-hmm.
start. If you're, this is what I tell people: if you can buy fast food, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you can stop doing that at least 3 times a week and take that money and just invest it on your Cash App, you'll be doing okay. That's
Mm-hmm.
a start.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Yeah,
start.
definitely. Have Acorn, Cash App, yeah,
Yeah.
Robinhood, yeah, and I take my Acorn. I just take, they round it off to the nearest dollar
Right.
times 10, and I
Right.
think I've been about maybe 6 months now,
And
and I
Acorn,
have like $561 in that.
that's good.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just use that for when I get ready to travel.
Right. That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good look.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And how do you like your Robin Hood?
I like it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Robin Hood. Robin Hood was a little bit more difficult for me. And you have to. I think it was Robin Hood. Sometimes they take money out your account each month.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So sometimes I don't want my money taken out. Like if I see something, because I know that they put it in a whole bunch of mutual funds. Sometimes
Right.
I want to review first
Right.
before. Yeah. So you got to watch
Hmm.
with the Robin Hood. Yeah, but I like Robin
Hmm.
Hood too. So that's interesting. So yeah, you guys. In closing, is there anything you want to say, dear?
Me?
Yes.
Okay. Just basically, again, I cannot stress
Hmm.
creating multiple streams of income.
Yes.
Okay. Whether it's in your industry, even outside your industry. One
Okay.
of the things I told my niece, she's a hairstylist.
And
Um, Looking back on my career, there's one thing I don't regret anything that I did. There is something that I wish I would have did.
huh?
And I wish that I would have been just as creative and talented with white hair as I was black hair.
Wow. Okay. Uh-huh.
And that's something that I told my niece. I said,
Right.
I don't want you to limit yourself to just black
Do
hair.
everybody's hair. Yep.
Do everybody's hair and
Yeah.
master them both.
Yeah.
So she can do white hair, she can do black hair, she can barber, she can braid.
Yeah.
And that's the wisest advice I could have gave her because I wish somebody would have told me that.
Right. That's
Um,
interesting that you said because I do all hair.
right,
You know,
you do.
yeah.
Right,
And it's funny
right.
because I used to look at people when they would say, when people would ask, what are your expertise? Like, what do you huh? I do all.
Everything.
I don't have an expert. I don't know
Right.
what you're saying to me. I do
Hmm.
all hair. But that I remember a lot of my coworkers being scared to color hair. And I'd be like,
Hmm.
you don't conquer that fear,
Hmm. Hmm.
because you don't know your chemistry. That's why you're
Hmm.
scared. But you
Right.
got to fail to
Hmm.
learn.
Right.
You got to get in
Right.
there and just do it.
Hmm. I
Cutting. I don't.
definitely,
If you can cut
definitely.
black hair, you can
You can
damn
go
sure
right here.
cut white hair.
Right.
Okay?
Hmm.
Cut anybody hair. Barbie doll
Right.
hair.
Right.
you you know.
That's the only thing I say that if I could go back in time,
Uh-huh.
I would have learned because I focused more on black hair. And my niece, she heard me, and
Right.
so she can do white hair, she can do black hair, she can
Add
barber
hair.
and
Add
all that. I would
hair.
tell anybody in the industry, learn how to conquer all of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and people say, well, what do you specialize? I specialize in it all.
Right.
I'm not
Right.
limited.
That's a good.
Anybody can sit in the chair.
That's
Yeah.
good. That's good stuff right there. Yeah. Yeah. Learn how to do it all. Well, you
Hmm.
guys, again, this is Audrey Holmes from Worldwide Hair Imports. She is on El Camino. What's your address, baby?
3013 El Camino Avenue, Suite A.
Hmm. And is there a way for people to contact you in
Hmm.
regards
They
to
can
this?
contact, of course, 916-289-9988.
Remember, she is looking for stylists. She is an excellent person to talk to if you need some advice or you need her to steer you into somebody financial. Again, she would love to share her information on her financial gurus. You know, we dropped some jewels today. We love you guys. We thank you. Audrey, you can check out if you want to, or you can hang around. I'm going to finish up the show. I appreciate you and love you. You are my
I
sister.
love it.
We have been doing hair. I have worked at Audrey Salon for years. We have been around the world and the globe doing hair. Thank you, sis. I appreciate
I
you so
love
much.
you.
Blessings
And
to
I
you. I
love
love
you.
you. I
All
love
right.
you too. All
Bye.
right. So, you guys, this has been the culture. You know, I just want to make sure that I touch a little bit on all the things that we do creative as melanated people, as Africans. You know, we really started the hair business um, being creative and doing things as far as like braids and beads all the way back to Egypt. You know, we were the creative ones. We showed them how to do wigs and have wigs. That's our culture, you know. And I just want to make sure that we don't lose our culture because it's in the hands of someone else that wants to control it. You know, we have to be careful that we fight for what is ours, you know. Like I said, I don't think people know how much hair has impacted us as a people. It has put millions of young women and men through college. I know so many hairstylists and barbers that have put their kids that have had amazing, amazing lives, beautiful homes, great families, have helped other family members open up gas stations, laundromats, things that only hair could have done, you know, and that's our culture, you know. And I want to make sure in this show that I reach out and I point out the things that are our culture: hair, food, music, art, you know, creation, technology, all those things. That's our culture. We are the creators of that culture, and it's important for us to preserve it. That's why this, for me, is huge, whether it's one person watching or a million people watching, you know, long as I am sharing the information and informing that one or that millionth person that this is our culture. You know, we must preserve it. This is what we're cut from. These are the things that has allowed us to be who we are, to afford the things that we have, you know. And for me, it's been hair. You know, like I said, I had a bunch of hairstyles. My grandmother, hairstylist, and she owned a little grocery store market down south, you know. And that's what I know. Those are the things that I know. I know about being an entrepreneur, looking at Miss Peaches in her pressing salon in Oakland, California, you know, her pressing my hair, you know, or Miss Teresa pressing hair and owning a hair salon. Those are the people, those are the Black African women that I learned how to be creative, how to open up a business, how to have a business, how to interact with the public. You know, the way Miss Peaches would greet people when they would come into the salon, it was spectacular. She had tea, she had coffee, and she had donuts every Saturday. It wasn't a big thing, but let them donuts but not be on that counter when all them women would come in on Saturday before church on Sunday to get their hair pressed. It was a presentation. It was professional, you know, and those are the things I don't want to lose. I want to make sure that our kids can see a level of professionalism that raises the bar, you know, that keeps them motivated to do something more. Because in the tradition of Ma'at, you're supposed to leave the tradition to the babies better than how you got it. You see what I'm saying? So whatever you're doing or whatever your parents doing, it was your responsibility to lift it up another notch. So they could take it and lift it up another notch. It's always supposed to be another notch raised, another level higher than how they received it. And this is our culture. And we got to get back to that. We got to get back to supporting.
9 o'clock.
We got to get back to supporting each other. I mean, and really supporting each other like there's nothing else out there but us, and that's important. That's important. It's important. And it's nothing wrong with us supporting each other. And support just means sometimes just showing up. It doesn't always mean spending money. We have this interesting energy that we think everybody's in your pocket, and it's not about that. It's just about showing up, and that's the beautiful thing about the culture. The culture is rich. The culture is beautiful. The culture is divine. It's on time. It's ours. It's already in manifestation. It's already been laid out. All we got to do is push it forward. Do your job to push it forward. That's important. What is your energy? How are you moving the culture forward? What are you doing? What are you doing to move the culture forward? If you don't have a position in that, we will fail. We will fail at a lot of things, but we have to, and we got to make sure to share that with our kids. We can't get so caught up in this white man's world or what they doing to forget that we must teach the kids how to push the culture forward. You hear me? I'm Cleo Cartel, and this is for the culture. And I'm loving y'all. I'm loving the energy that we're producing, even through a pandemic. We are resilient, even through some shit. And I mean, it can pile up for us, and we still keep pushing. We still keep moving. We made a little ongoing joke, me and my partner, me and my girlfriend. We was like, shit, we know how to eat beans and rice. We know how to make a meal, honey. We know how to push through, even through this. And this, we haven't seen anything like this. And even though I hate that we're losing a lot of elders and things, we're losing a lot of our libraries. I call the elders that have come through and who have been phenomenal. We call those our libraries, and we're losing a lot of them. But it's up to us to preserve the culture. It's important. It is important. Yes. Peace and blessings. I'm Cleo Cartel. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning in. Make sure that you share this. We are on Periscope. We are on YouTube Live. And I believe we're on Facebook Live. And I am going to try and figure out. I need to find another way to get people plugged in, too, so they don't miss the message. All right, y'all. Peace.